Hello, my people. This video is really going to go to the point of business. I know a lot of you have asked me on my channel, hey, Zawadi, I want to do a business, but I don't have any form of business experience. The question then becomes, why do you want to do a business, right? That's why I typically ask people, why do you want to do a business? And some people do this because, or they want to do a business because they have passion for it, or because they want to make residual income, or that they see the opportunity in Liberia, and that's why some people want to do business. And others are just looking to do business for formality, and others are just looking to really expand their curiosity as it relates to doing business in Liberia, or just perhaps doing business anywhere else that business could be suitable for. So a lot of times the question is, well, if I don't have any experience in business, how can I do a business that I have very little experience in? That's the question. But having a business degree is not a prerequisite to having a successful business. So if you want to establish a business, you don't necessarily need to have a degree in order for you to have that business established. There are skills that you can have in order to start something, especially in Liberia as it relates to doing business in Liberia. But if you don't have a business degree, that's okay. You can definitely have a business, but there are a couple of things I would like you guys to consider, especially from somebody who already has a business or businesses. There are things such as interest to consider. Why do you want to do a business? Is it for residual income? Is it for you because of familiarity, or is it because you see potential in a business? That's why you want to do business where you don't have business knowledge. What you have to ask yourself, why you want to do a business. And that's very important. You can't just get up and say, oh, I want to do a business, whether it's for fun or leisure, or you see other people doing business. The reason you want to do a business, you still got to find out what it is that is motivating you to do a business. Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. That's motivating you to want to do a business. So as I've previously stated, a business degree is not a prerequisite to having a business, but it helps. It provides you with an edge to do one. So if you want to do a business, you need to be able to have finances. That's key. And by finances, I don't mean millions of dollars, thousands of dollars in the bank, but you need to have initial starting capital. That's very important. And also, you have to have some level of flexibility with conditions of the business climate. You need to have a business plan, and if you want to start a business without a business plan, you are definitely going to fail. And a lot of people take for granted what it is a business plan does. A business plan a business plan is like a roadmap into how you're going to structure your business, how you're going to start your business, how you're going to have your business sustainable. So that's something that you don't need to know in college. You don't need to go have a degree to understand that you need to have a plan. The other thing that is very important if you want to establish a business without a degree, if you don't have a business degree, is you should be able to network. I cannot emphasize enough how much the importance of networking. Networking will get you places than your degree will get you. You can have PhD, you can have doctorate, whatever you want to have, but if you don't really network yourself, you are not going to have anything successful. I'm being very honest with you, because how many times you go to school, you get PhD, and then people still don't have jobs. I over here, when I graduated from college with my master's degree, all the degrees that you have, if you don't have a colleague to say, you know what, put in a word for me, it doesn't have to be corruption with that, but more so somebody who know of your work, and they can put you in front of the hiring manager, or perhaps the person can recommend you. It's a matter of networking. So if you're looking to establish a business, you should be able to network, and by networking, people who are already into the business. I think I've said this on my channel many times. Network yourself. Go to agriculture events, go to real estate seminars, go to conferences. Ask about people. Ask people within those fields, like, hey, are you holding any workshop? Network your way into these things for you to be a very successful business person. Again, like I said, that does not require a degree. Let me give you guys an example. the poultry business that I have over there. Recently, like we actually went and took a look at the farm. The farm is expanding. We're making money. We're making profit. The business is operating on its own. I don't put any more money into that poultry business anymore because the poultry business is not making money. But I'm not a farmer, okay? I had to find somebody who knows about farming. That's true networking. I brought this fellow in to be a partner with me because he knows about agriculture. I don't know about agriculture. So I had a network to say, I have this great business idea, great business plan, but I'm just an entrepreneur. I'm just somebody who know how to operate the business, but I don't know the practices that involves a farm. So that's how I was able to bring him on board, and he can give you everything from start to finish on how you can set up a poultry, and even for the practices, the safety practices, the biosecurity, he knows them. But my job now is to arm our team with more knowledge by recommending workshops for them, by contacting the USAID for more educational videos, and also sending my farmers to farms that have already been in business for 12 plus years. So initially, before my farmer could get to our farm, we sent him for training for 3 months, and he learned how to do that. And even then, I said it was not enough for the farmer. I told him, I said, you got to go to a farm to where it's not just practical things that you're learning in the book, but also you can actually do hands-on work, so that when you are working on our farm, you can know exactly what to do. We didn't leave it there. I always purchase books that are up to yearly practices. It's not like practices from back before. So what he does is he increases knowledge by reading some of these new books, as far as animal husbandry is concerned. So network. So you also want to do other businesses that require business, knowledge or business degree. Look, I'm gonna be very honest with you. A lot of things I even learned in school, I'm not even applying it to any of my businesses that I'm doing. I use common sense methods. Yeah, maybe my budgeting classes really help. A lot of what helped is my contracting classes. I would tell anyone for free, if you have free time, take contracting classes. Those are very more needed for me in my business practices than some of the statistics that I took. Yeah, I'm very good at math. I did calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3, and now differential equations. But that does not apply to my life, being very honest with you. So it becomes very irrelevant as far as my degree is concerned. But what I can tell you that I've learned from my businesses and that has been very effective is negotiation. And that's what contract management teaches you, from the procurement, getting the contract, finalizing all of that. It's all negotiation. That's a skill you can have without going to sit in a classroom. So, again, these are some of the skills that you can have. The other skill that I think is very important doing business in Liberia or anywhere else, but Liberia specifically, because this is what my channel has been navigating towards, is interpersonal skills. It's very important to be able to interact with people. Communication is not just talking. I would always tell people that communication is about comprehension, is effectively listening, because anybody can talk, okay? But if you can sit with somebody and listen to what they have to say and you really understand what they have to say, it will take you far as an entrepreneur. Because some things that you already know and they are telling you, you're going to be like, okay, maybe this was in my business plan. But now that I've talked to these people, these are some of the barriers, these are some of the risks, these are some of the opportunities. When you're doing your SWOT analysis, you are able to see risk, opportunities, and threats. These things are within the SWOT analysis that people do to see if their business will be move forward or sustainable. So as you are conversing with people around, you can say, okay, in my business plan, my target audience were blank, 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 because of what the knowledge that you gain. But when you talk to someone in person, to tell you, okay, the people that come in this area, or maybe middle class, or people who are, diaspora, they are within the diaspora. or schools are being built over here. When you listen effectively, then you can start to even modify your business plan. That's why I keep saying business plan is very important. I can tell you how many times I have gone through my business plan to change and change and change and modify and modify and modify until I can say, yes, this makes sense. But even within the making sense of it, what I budgeted for return on investment could be modified based on the number of sales. So we do quarterly for the poultry, and as you increase capacity, what you projected will not be the same because you have scaled up. And two, you have also established a different target audience. So my target audience was Douala. Now I'm going beyond Douala. So therefore, my marketing plan and everything within my business plan has to be modified. So that's very important. Interpersonal skills, interacting with people, and all of these things are very important. Okay. And I talk about flexibility. Be flexible within your business plan. Meaning if you have projected that within 2 quarters I'm gonna sell maybe 8,000 eggs, okay, and then you do realize that you cannot sell 8,000 eggs. There has to be some level of flexibility on what you can and cannot do. The other thing that people need to exercise flexibility on, this is very important for Liberia, really, and I have noticed this for myself in my own businesses, is that you have to be flexible with salary, with your employee's salary. Recently, my security told me and said, "Hey, boss lady, I know you give me a raise. Uh, I'm currently in Portland, Oregon. So recently my security asked me and he said, "Hey, I can you increase my salary by $10?" And I said, so could you tell me more? Why do you think I should increase your salary by $10? And he said, first of all, I'm working from 6 to 6 p.m. Okay, that's good. And secondly, he said, within the time I've been working, there has been no break-ins. I said, okay, good. That's, yeah, for sure. And then he also said, because I've been a loyal security person here, I've been with this company for 3 years, and that's why I deserve more raise. And mind you, I've already given this guy a raise 3 months prior. And I told myself, I said, well, okay, so if I were to hire another security to work to split these hours, these 12 hours, my salary cost would be double his pay. So adding $10 to him does not really hurt myself, right? If anything, it allows him to continue to be a sincere person, and it also allows him to know that I seek his interest and that he matters. And so why I did not tell him, yes, I'm going to increase your pay 10% right on the spot. As a business smart person, you have to say, I will assess your skills. I will also talk to your supervisor for them to give me advice, and then you can come. I already knew I needed to. I was going to increase it based on what he said, but I have to do things according to how my company is structured. That I would talk to a supervisor, I would talk to his colleagues. His colleagues include the construction guys on site. Like, oh, how was the security? Did the security talk to you nicely? Did the security put things inside? Has the security been, observing? Whatever it is. And when I get that feedback, then I can go back in and say, yeah, you are getting raised because of X, Y, and Z. It's not because you're telling me to give you a raise. So anyway, my point here is I have to use a level of flexibility in terms of where his salary can be. Because 9 out of 10 times you say, I'm not gonna give you a raise because you got a raise, and some people making way more less money than you. You Liberian people, I want you to stop this behavior of business X is paying somebody 10,000, and because of what that person is paying the person, so you want to say you cannot increase your security or whoever staff your worker salary because it's the same standard. Oh, everybody in Liberia get 250 salary, so oh, my person's salary is going to be 250. You are really mistaken. Very, very. That's a terrible mistake to make. You want to ensure that your staff salary is even above what it is that other people are making, because now 10 times that person gonna go to the other place anyway and gonna leave you alone, and now you're gonna be stuck. So this is from the idea that somebody makes something here, so that's the same thing your staff need to get. Your staff need to get better treatment in order for them to take care of your business, and that's why you see me over here. and I tell you, I have this business, I have this business, I have this business. Obviously, I'm not in Liberia, and I can look at my profit margins and be like, God is good. That's because good staff in place. These people are being compensated accordingly. And when they come to me, I have to be flexible as a leader to say, you know what, these are some of the reasons why you will get it. And there are other times, some staff, I tell them, you don't deserve a raise right now. And you can be very honest with that and say, I will reevaluate you. I do performance evaluation across all my staff. This is something I do in America. This is something I do across my businesses back in Africa. I do performance appraisals, and I read it to them. And I say, look, this is where you are. This is where you're going to go. These are your goals. And if you accomplish it, your salary goes up. That's just common sense business practice. So I do all of those things. So, but my point is, you have to exercise some level of flexibility. Do you have a company that work for your business? I do. I actually do. I just recently got a lady on. She is doing that actually. Um, so yeah, so you have to do all of those things, but I think the conversation here is, what are some skills you need to have if you are not a business minded person, or perhaps if you don't have a business degree. You can be very successful without having a business degree in Liberia, but there are three things also that is very, very important: perseverance, persistency, and consistency. Those are two different things. You're persevere, you're persistent, and you're consistent. Very important. The reason why people are successful is because they're consistent. Very consistent things. Continue to push forward. You see, I'll give an example of a business in Liberia that when they started, I thought, I don't know. I don't think they'll be good because Liberia doesn't have internet, and not many people have internet phones. And it's like, tip me. I'm not advocating for tip me. Tip me has not paid me anything at all. But I talk about tip me because these people have been in the market, but slowly and surely people are getting to know about them because they're consistent in their message, and they understand they cannot make so much profit at first. It has to be consistency display, people to get to know them, familiarize themselves with their brand in order for them to start reaping the reward that they should be reaping. So you people back, you go to Liberia, you see, okay, I'm not making money at first. The first thing, you shouldn't be thinking about profit. That's the first thing. You shouldn't be thinking about profit. You should be thinking about how your business can be sustainable. That's what you have to think about. You should be thinking about how you can put your business in the customers' minds. That's the things you should be thinking about. And then years pass, then you can start thinking about profit. When I first started my poultry farm, when we first started the poultry farm, we've already established within our plan that we're not going to make profit. So the goal was, let's fight hard for the farm to sustain herself, for the farm to sustain itself. And what that means: staff salary, feed, medications, biosecurity stuff. All of these things the farm needs to do itself within 1 year time. That was it. November marked a year of the farm being in operation. Last month is when the farm started to take care of itself. So do you see the process? It takes some time, but you got to be patient and persistent, consistent with what it is that you want to do. If you want to do the business in Liberia or anywhere else you want to do business, it has to do a lot of consistency. So, these are some of the things. And these are not things that you go to school, they'll teach you. Being consistent is not something that someone's going to teach you on paper. This is something that you already have to know. Networking is not something somebody's going to teach you on paper. Although my professor used to tell me, Emma, you only got this internship because you're very consistent, and you've gone to a lot of these workshops, and and it's factually, it's true, because I didn't get that internship because I was the smartest among all the thousands of students that came from all these big schools. I got it because, I have gone to so many of these events, I have made my face known there, and somebody recommended me to the internship. That was a big internship, and so I got it. My point. So network your way out, network your way, and I appreciate a lot of you who have actually reached out to me, asking questions, and I've been able to give you guys the answers that I know. And the good thing I've been doing is, if I don't know the answers, I always refer you to somebody who does. And you better understand that the person I'm recommending you to, they know what they're talking about, because my integrity is 100% key. I'm not going to send you to somebody who does not know what they're talking about. because then it'll be a reflection of me. Oh, you send me to somebody who don't know. No, 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 I don't do that. So if I send you to someone, trust and believe you already know that person is going to be great. Okay, so very key. Another thing that you have to understand when you're doing business in Liberia is this, that that's not your home, and you cannot expect everyone to do the practices in which you want them to do. Okay, you are very new. That's a new territory. Pretend like you know nothing. Pretend like you know nothing so you can gain knowledge. And you cannot tell people, oh, this is how what they do in America, therefore this is what you need to do. No, no, no. You're in a different climate. So you need to adapt yourself a little bit to the business climate in order for you to move forward. You can't say you're gonna do payroll. This is one example. I almost took this idea there and they were like, no, it don't make no sense. Which was I wanted to start to pay them bi-weekly. And they're like, no, we like to get paid every month. And I'm thinking, okay, don't you want to have money every 2 weeks? But it makes sense to them. And I had to understand why it makes sense to them. Whether it makes sense to me or not, I had to tailor my business model to how people like to do things sometimes. And that doesn't mean my method or my process is different. It's just that I have to tailor it to what is satisfactory to them. Their perception is that if they take pay every 2 weeks, they will not even know where the money is going. That's how they feel, and I had to adapt to that system. It can come back to the flexibility. Very important. Other things to really consider in doing business in Liberia is when I say get to know people in high places, I'm not just talking government here. Okay? Get to know people in high places, meaning people who have been in that business climate for a long, long, long time. I'm not an educator, but I partner with Blue Crest University. That's an Indian university. I partner with them, and I talked to them even yesterday. I talked to the president, and I just asked like, what are some of the barriers that you are going through right now, and we talk more in depth. And this also helps me help them. So some of their contacts become my contacts. Some of their business practices become my business practices, and also know what you're bringing to the table to people. You can't always want to take from somebody and without giving them. So for us, this business relationship that I have with Blue Crest is what I can give Blue Crest and what contact they can give me. That's very important. So these are some of the things that you guys want to uh, really take into consideration. The other aspect here is it's not a skill, perhaps it can be translated into a skill. And this is a secret. I think I gave this secret out to somebody yesterday, and I'm gonna share with y'all. If somebody's working for you in Liberia, take upon yourself to know their family. I know it's very cliche, but when you apply for a job in America, they can ask you a few questions. Who do you want to be your emergency contact? And you put your person name there. In Liberia, the same applies, except in this case, you will know their whole family. So this is how trust is kept if you know the whole family. I give you all my secrets over here and I don't take it as a business. But you gotta know somebody's whole family. Yes, it's the reason why. If you know this person's whole family, you have increased your level of trust with them. So yes, for example, if John Paul works for you and you know John Paul family, you know John Paul's wife, John Paul's sister, John Paul whoever, and you have been good to John Paul's family. If somebody come and tell John Paul to do X, Y, and Z, and John Paul say he wants to leave, that family member will tell them, say, "Oh no 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 no." This has happened many times. I'm telling you. Nope, Emma was good to you. No, Emma was very good to us. I don't think that's not a good idea. Don't do that. That trust and believe. This is very effective. Very, 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 very effective. They would tell their family member, do you have family days for your businesses? Yes, I do. I do have family days. I also have part of my insurances that I you know how in the US they give you like health insurance and all that. I give tuition reimbursement. That's part of what I do. So another thing I want to incorporate in my business is to give them insurance, but it's not going to be called like medical insurance. I just want to do. I'm just planning something else within all my business plans. To where my staff can have monthly checkups. That's just in my business plan. That's not a company. That's not a country ran insurance because I give benefits to my employees. So for those that have kids, I give them tuition reimbursement for their children. For those who are, perhaps saying, I want to go back to school. Like I have a supervisor right now. He told me, he said, I want to go to trade school. And I said, oh, excuse me, you want to go to trade school? And he said, yes, I want to go to trade school. I love what the guys are doing at the construction site here. I want to learn and be more a part of it. And da, 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 da. And I said, how many days a week is the trade school? He said 3 days. And I said, how many days you going to be working here now? And he pretty much said, after school, I'll come. And so we had to like structure his schedule a little bit. So it's accommodating for him. It's accommodating for me. You got to be flexible. So anyway, so you got another family. I'm telling you this right now. The most important of anything you've ever heard is to get to know the people's family. Because when they're doing work for you, even if they want to do bad things to your business, their family member will be the first one. No, 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 no. You can treat the person like that. I have so many examples that if I didn't know certain people's family, my business would crash. Um, and it has been very helpful, very, very helpful. So that's something. Then you probably ask yourself, well, how do I go about that? One thing I did with one of my staff in Breville, I used to say, let me talk to your wife. And I just talked to her. I said, oh, thank you so much for taking care of that boss, man. I just crack jokes, crack jokes. And then it left from jokes to, hey, my sister, how can I help you? Do you want to do a little bit of market? What, since you've been since you started as a child, what did you ever want to do with your life? Oh, I like to do hair, but we live yeah. When I say, oh, okay, but have you thought about going to some hair store to go observe? Oh my God, my sister, I never thought about this. I said, oh, okay. Well, maybe you can go to there's a school in Singapore, around Singapore that they do hair braiding. You think you would like to go there one day? And she said, yeah, wow, never thought about it this way. And I talked to her husband. I said, you think it'll be okay for your wife? Oh, yeah, I think it'll be good for my wife to go there. That's something she's been wanting to do. But, money these days, I'm just focused on the children. I brought that proposition to them. I really, got her in, got her in, got her in, got her in. Eventually, she started going to the hair school. When she started going to the high school, she got pregnant. She said, named her daughter Emma. That is not my business. But my point is, when my staff started to do something in terms of wanting to take another job recently, not because my job was not enough, but because my job with him was based on contract. So when the contract wouldn't come in a specific time frame, then he would say, "Oh, I want to go do something for a long time." Your wife would say, "But where do you think you're going? You have this job here, this stable job that can pay you on time. Make the woman make sure she put me to school. Look at me doing hair, yeah, da 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 da." He don't have nowhere to go because of his wife. So I cannot give you guys enough examples. That's why I sit in my house here and I go to sleep good at night because I know people doing their jobs. But so you got to be strategic. I know a lot of you don't like to spend, but you got to put in money to gain money. So if you don't want to spend back in library, people are always going to cheat you because you're just trying to not put in money. You gotta be strategic. You have to ask yourself, some of y'all who live in the diaspora, insurance matters to you. Why does it matter to you? You never know when you get sick. Tuition reimbursement matter to you. So what make you think it won't matter to somebody who's in Liberia? Well, they're not used to it, but that's something you can put in as a benefit for them. And so they see you as, oh, this person care for my well-being. I do that all the time to all my staff, and especially having a conversation of what they need for their benefit. And I say, okay, these are the insurances, or these are the benefits I have. Your children going to school, you yourself going to school, Becca Rice. I used to do Becca Rice. But I got too smart about it because Belco rice price fluctuates, and I don't have no time to be paying Belco rice all the time. So I went back and talked about tuition reimbursement, and that was much better because it saves the money, and that become more consistent for me. So you got to be strategic as far as what you can give people other than their salary. You understand that part? And so those are not things that school is going to teach you. If for you to come out and say, oh, this person has been working for me X, Y, and Z. Another thing I do is that when I'm going back home, I take things for all my staff, all of them. I think things for them. Medication. People bones hurt. So think I'm in healthcare. So certain things I know. And my aunt is a pharmacist. So I cover things. I take some medication for some people, and I take some notebooks for some people, and I take some sweaters for some people, especially those that work around my water properties. I take sweaters for them. I take some things for them. I take candies for their kids. I take food for their wives. Um, Oh, okay. So this is a very good question. As of this is November becomes November, December, January, February. By February, we will be okay with having tours for the poultry farm, and by November, December, January, February, March, April, May. By May, people can tour the pineapple farm. For students, only students can tour my pineapple farm. um so that's something that people can do. And then as far as my construction field, I am talking to my manager to incorporate women in more into the construction field. So that's something that I'm adding to my many, many, many list of things to do, to draft, to put together, the receptionist is a female, but I would like to see more women in the construction field being hired. So I'm right now talking to an architect. She do really good design. She will be coming on the construction team, but I need to finalize the second phase of the interview process. So I'm trying to get more people and more people involved in these things, and especially kids, students. So for the farm, yes. February will be for the poultry. People can come and tour the poultry, and of course there are waiver clearance things that you will have to fill out because, again, this is my business, and I'm not looking for people to transfer disease into my poultry farm. So there are some things that will have to be talked about, and you got to sign some paperwork before your students go to my farm. And then, as I said, by mid-May, people can go to the pineapple farm to go and take a tour, speak with the workers. And like I said, for pineapples, you have people who grow the pineapples, you have people who clear it. So the teams are sections of people who are obviously going to be picking it, people who are actually going to be observing the soil. All these employees are there. And so those can be assessed. The only side I do not expect anyone to go to is my entertainment center because I'm trying to wrap that thing up for it to be running. I need to wrap it up. The people getting me angry and out of control. They don't have the tiles I want. I'm very specific with my floor tiles. And for the past 3 weeks, they don't have the tiles. They don't have the tiles I want. It's making me angry. But they told me Friday they should have over 100 boxes. But anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, some people can definitely tour. So if you need further information about the tour, students tour in the farm, you can always send me email at zawadiem21@gmail.com, and I will speak with my supervisor, and we will try to schedule it by February, like I said. So that's something. What else? What else? Oh, another thing is, when I'm in Liberia this in 2 months. People can still meet up with me. I have a list of people who are going to be meeting up to talk different things. And do you know YouTube channel? Oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. I do. Um, and then there are other people who on here just talk negativity about Liberia. Yeah, I know these channels. Some of which I sometimes just pass by. Just pass through. Um, Yeah. So any other questions that you guys have? That's good. That's some good questions. Part of my goal really is to inspire the young generation there, and to give people jobs. This is means a lot to me when people are working, and people are working and being compensated. I don't give my construction engineers the same salary as anyone. My salary beats every um construction company. Every construction company. The hourly rate is way above what I pay my people hourly rate, because what's important is for people to do good job, and you got to compensate them. So anyway, if you have any questions while I'm on here taking a break from my contract that I was drafting, I decided to come on here and talk because this has really been on my mind. I just got I had an interview today with a guy in Uganda, and he has a YouTube channel that has a lot of followings and all that, and he has been impressed with my work. So I had an interview with him, and one of the questions that came up is, "Hey, I don't have any business background. I don't have any business degree. How can I be a successful entrepreneur?" And I said, "Well, wait a minute. I could talk about this on my channel too." So that's the reason why I am actually here on this channel. I actually helped one young lady recently with her business. She's not a business person, but with our consultation, we did the first step, two, three steps, and she got her business and she got customers. Okay, she got customers. This stuff is not rocket science. We got